Alright everyone, welcome to a new Morrowind experience. I have installed the Morrowind Graphics and Sounds Overhaul version 2.0. As you see, it even changes the title screen. And I wanted to start from the beginning to show you the new loading screens and the new interface. As you see here, it is compatible with my old saves. I did have to make sure that the Good Place to Stay mod was not included in the pack, so I installed that myself, and all of my previous saves do work. So let's take a look at the beautiful new Morrowind experience made by the Graphics and Sounds Overhaul. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is right where we left off from the last playthrough.
Yes, Outlander.
Only in a much prettier Morrowind. Everything worked beautifully with the Graphics and Sound Overhaul. I'm still having the issue with footsteps being that loud. That is just an issue that I have to deal with. It is not the fault of the Morrowind Graphics and Sounds Overhaul. It is an issue that if you've been watching this playthrough, I have had since I started it, so that has nothing to do with the Graphics and Sound Overhaul. But as you can see here, lots of sounds, lots of graphical changes. This is going to be a whole lot of fun. It's almost going to be like playing Morrowind again for the first time. Again, shout outs to Kingpix and all the people from the Morrowind Overhaul team. The link to the Morrowind Overhaul pack is in the description of this video. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and continue where we left off last time. Alright, so we are looking for Sargon. Let's talk to a guard. You see this beautiful new interface. Looks very similar to the Darnified UI for Oblivion. Alright. So we need to check with a couple other people to get where we're going. If I remember correctly, the trade house is right over here. There it is, and this trade house. You're going to be hearing a lot more sound effects in the background, and the game's going to look a whole lot better thanks to the hard work of all the people I mentioned before. We got NPCs sitting around here, and it's going to, like I said, it's going to be an entirely new experience. Well, okay. Going back to where we were before, very near Voss. She wouldn't have bothered to updated my map, would she have? No, because there's Voss. Alright, one thing that the overhaul did, and this is only because I'm playing a save game that wasn't built with, well, my save game wasn't played with the overhaul. It appears that it did remove all of the stuff from my map that I had done. However, it still seems to be indicating places that I have been. This is, again, if I had started playing my game with the Morrowind Overhaul, this entire map almost assuredly would have been outlined. But as the orc did not update my map, looks like we'll just take the advice and go due north. There's the ghost fence in the background. And one thing that should be noted here is that this is not as good as the Morrowind Graphics and Sound Overhaul pack can look. I am not running on a high-end PC here. As a matter of fact, this is the mid-range settings. for a mid-range computer like mine. So anyway, as I was saying, this is mid-range settings. If you have a high-end computer, it's going to look even better than this. I've had to turn down my draw distance significantly to get playable FPS in the Morrowind graphics extender XE. So it's entirely possible that your mileage will vary, and your mileage may be considerably better than mine due to the fact that I am playing on about a 2-year-old laptop. Seem to be some volume balancing issues. It's just something I need to sort out on my particular machine. As I said before, you've been watching this playthrough, you'll know that I have had some sound and volume issues. Trying to retrieve some arrows with no luck. One thing you will notice is that the game is considerably darker with the Morrowind graphics and sound overhaul. That is an option. You may set it to lighter or darker or brighter, depending on the options you choose in the setup. The darker tends to be more realistic. This looks more like what you would expect a wasteland to look at night, rather than very bright and where you can see everything. And if you've been watching this playthrough with me, you'll remember, just as I do, that the road north of Sargon was my downfall quite some time ago. Alright, something else is hitting me. A Nyx hound. I feel like I'm in a Hitchcock movie with all these cliff racers attacking me. Apparently some of them can't be arsed to make it down here. Alright, out of arrows. Don't feel like using the magic ones right now. But as I was saying earlier, the road north of Sargon has been my downfall before. Apparently being diseased makes those rats a lot tougher. Oh, hey, the cliff racer finally made it down to attack me. Alright. So we've cleared the place out of bad guys. Need to go north. Apparently Voss was, or this place that I'm going, Sargon, is near Voss. See if we can just go over the hills, which, no, that didn't work too well. Last time I remember I didn't try to go over the hills because I had NPC companions with me, and they don't path very well over hills, as I'm sure people saw in a couple of my other videos. Not going to be able to climb that. Perhaps here to get over the mountains. Continue my journey north. And the Hitchcock movie continues. Right over the hills pretty well. You see a dwarven ruin out in the distance there. I'm just going to keep on going the way I was going, though. Oh, got a little worried there. Was scared that was going to hurt a lot. Good thing it didn't. More dwarven ruins around here. Must be a big dwarven ruin. As I said, though, I'm just going to stick with the quest that I'm on for right now. Looks like we're going to go north and then hit the coast and head west to find Sargon. Honestly, I'm just having a lot of fun seeing what the Morrowind Graphics and Sound Overhaul has done to the game. It looks absolutely beautiful. Almost on par with current generation games. Obviously the limitations of the engine prevent certain things, but if you'll remember, one thing I said in my initial statement of how I was going to be playing this game is that I didn't want to do anything that really affected the core Morrowind experience. And just by the fact that I've been attacked by 9,000 cliff racers on the way out here is pretty much proof that the Graphics and Sound Overhaul is just that, a Graphics and Sound Overhaul with a few bug fixes. But overall, does not affect the core Morrowind experience whatsoever. So let's take a look inside the shipwreck. Is there an entrance on the water level? Doesn't appear to be. Looks like I can get in over here. Go to the captain's cabin first, of course, if you can. Oh, maybe we'll find a key. Well, no, I've got lockpicks. Let's take a rest first, though.
Die, Fetcher! You're beaten! You inward!
Wow, I'm apparently out of healing potions and didn't even know it. Yeah, I figured that was going to happen once I stopped hitting him. It's alright, we'll try it again. The plus there is you guys get to see some of the new splash screens in the overhaul. Ah, well, this time my rest is interrupted by a rat rather than an assassin. Much more manageable. Something tells me that I'm not going to be able to unlock this door with my current security skill. You know, I've been surprised before. Wow, nice and dark in here. Potions of water breathing are always helpful. Retexture on the grand soul gems there. Yeah, if they're not worth all that much, we won't take them. And skooma, nah thanks, I don't touch the stuff. Plus it's tough to find a dealer that will actually buy it. So is there anything else to be seen in here? Oh yes, the chest right behind me that I missed. I was wondering why he was just standing there and not bothering to attack me. Again, potions of water breathing are always helpful. Especially for times like this. Oh, I thought it was going to be necessary, apparently it wasn't. You'll notice that I do have a lot of the water shading turned off. It's because I am not on, again, I'm not on a very high-end computer, and the water shading was absolutely destroying my frame rate to the point where I might have been fine playing it by myself, but there was no way I would be able to play and record at the same time. I can say this, that the water effects look wonderful if your system can handle them. Mine barely can, and it's to the point where were I to turn them on, I would not be able to record at any type of decent frame rate. So I have had to turn the water shaders down. Big Daedric ruin up off in the distance here. As I recall, there's a cave over here with good stuff in it. I think it's this cave right where my cursor is at right now. However, I also believe that the cave is one of those that is not level.